All right.
Hello, and welcome to the Everything and Anything Burrito with Liz. This is our very first show. We've decided to recap the presidential election as well as go into what's currently going on with the president. I'd like to introduce my panel. I'll go ahead and let Armando start off with himself. He'll tell you a little bit about himself. Go ahead.
All right. So my name is Armando Ramirez. I met Elizabeth, must have been year 2006, 2007, if not earlier. And I've been friends with her and Kenny like since then. I just haven't seen them in forever. Like I'm talking like 13, 14 years. I have not seen her. So like, we kept in touch through social media. Obviously, that kept us there. And finally through this, we had a chance to kind of reconnect. She invited me to do it. I said yes. So here I am. And I'm basically just here to, have some fun and talk about all kinds of shit going on.
Yeah. Tell us about Susan.
I met Susan in Peru through friends, of course, met her there. Long story short, we just met, hit it off. It was a natural connection. And since then, we've kept up the relationship. We've started the whole fiance visa case. We got approved and everything until COVID was going smooth. So we're just kind of playing the waiting game now and all that. But once that kind of sort of once the embassies start taking interviews and all that stuff, hopefully middle of next year or early next year, God willing, we can. Hey, she'll be here.
She's gonna be sitting in with us for all the way from Peru, listening to work on her English. Correct?
Yes, she her English is a little limited, but she wants to learn and she's trying to get used to it, and I told her that hearing it is one way it could help, and so she agreed, and that's why she's here listening, to just kind of try to get used to that.
Fantastic, Susan. We're happy to have you. So glad you're here.
Tan feliz de tenerte.
I feel like there's some lag.
A lag?
Is there some lag or is it me?
Is what?
A lag.
I feel like there's a lot of lag.
Maybe there might be, but I'm not really noticing it. It's cool though. Go ahead, talk about yourself.
All right. Well, I'm Ernesto. I've been friends with Lauren for quite some time, since 2015, I think it was. Right? 2014. I'm sorry. I've never actually met Liz. I know Lauren and Liz are. I know Lauren and Liz are really good friends. They're best friends. I haven't had the opportunity to meet Liz, but hopefully when I go back to Florida, yeah, we get to do stuff in Destin. I'm dying to go to Destin, Florida. I know you live around there, right? Well, you live in Crestview, but you live.
Oh, I work in Destin. I'm in Destin like every day. Yes, I live right by Destin, basically.
Yeah, exactly. I'd like to go to New Orleans too. I know Lauren is always going up to. Yeah, it's fun over there, right?
Oh my God, so much fun! Yeah. I can't wait for COVID to be over to get back out there.
All of us.
Yeah. Bourbon Street, I'm sure, is really fun, right?
Oh my God, it's everything. New Orleans is the prettiest, most wonderful, disgusting, nasty, dirty place I've ever been, and I love every bit of it. So
yeah, it's not that far away from you, right?
No, it's like 3 hours. You know what I mean? Like you can leave in the morning and get there in time to have like brunch.
Okay, cool. So you can make it like a day trip then, right?
Oh, totally. Yeah. Usually, like when I can't stay for very long, I'll go with a friend, and we might like leave early on Saturday morning, stay there Saturday night, get up, enjoy the day, and come back Sunday. You can do it over like one little weekend, totally.
Okay, cool. I live in Phoenix now. I've been here for 2 years, and it's been going great. I love it out here in the desert. It goes up to 120 degrees, but here I am, alive and well.
You still there?
There's really not. I mean, as far as politics, sorry.
I'm sorry. I wasn't sure if Lauren was still there. I was seeing if she was still there. Are you still there, Lauren?
Okay. It might be the Wi-Fi with her. Yeah, that's what it might be.
All right, so we're just gonna move on and wait for her to come back. But I was thinking about oh, is she there now?
I'm here.
Okay, introduce yourself, woman.
Hello?
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Lauren. Obviously, I've known Beth for over 20 years. We met in high school, 9th grade. So
Hello?
we've been best friends ever since, representing Coral Springs High School. I've seen Beth multiple times.
Oh no, we lost Lauren. We lost her.
It sounds like a Wi-Fi thing.
Hello?
Yeah, you're fading out, hun. You're going in and out, but that's okay. Are you still there?
I just wanted to say that I miss Beth, but we're gonna do podcasts now, and we're gonna have some fun and talk about things.
All right, sounds good, honey. Okay, so we all saw the debate. It was a big spectacle. I don't think it went the way anybody thought it was going to. Definitely a memorable debate. I guess let's just to delve into it was the reaction the next day. I was really surprised that of the backlash that Joe Biden took for losing his cool when, telling Trump to shut up and keep yapping. I mean, how much can a person take before you lose your cool, you lose your decorum? I mean, I was just really surprised to see the backlash that he received, so I just wasn't sure if any of you guys had any thoughts about that or thoughts about, either performance.
I mean, I think there was only so much one could take, right? Trump brings out the worst in all of us, right?
Right?
Yeah, I mean, my honest thoughts on it were, it goes like this. Like, obviously, it was a spectacle, and yeah, I think it is fair to say that the whole event was a disaster because, I mean, like, anybody who's followed even politics for a tiny bit knows what a debate looks like, knows what the forum of it looks like. There should be, I guess there should be there is an unwritten rule about decorum and,
Yes.
rules. You're right. Your time to talk, my time to talk. I mean, it's hard to even it's hard to even say it was a debate at points because, I mean, like, there were really times where Biden would start to speak and like 2 seconds in, like he was getting cut off. Like, anybody, I think at some point would definitely lose their cool. Anybody.
Lauren, Ernesto, did you have any thoughts about that? About Biden, him losing his cool with Trump and not, staying.
Oh no, that was so irritating. You have no idea. Like Trump constantly interrupting. It was a shit show. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Lauren described it perfectly. Like, come on, like I like both candidates. I like and dislike both candidates. I'm trying to hear them out. I want to hear what Biden has to say. Maybe
Right.
I'm actually leaning towards Biden, but like, you never know. Maybe you could persuade me with some other things that he has to say, but I just couldn't hear it. You know what I mean? Like, sucked.
Right. So we all agree that, like, yes, Biden lost his cool, but that, Lauren, are you there?
I'm here.
Tell us your thoughts.
I'm hearing. I agree totally with what Ernesto just said about how, Trump kept talking over Biden and we were all trying to listen to what he was going to say. And of course we knew that Trump was going to out-talk Biden, right?
Mm-hmm.
We knew that he was going to do that. That's his classic style of how he does debating. But for the most part, I don't think anybody came out as the forerunner. Nobody came out as the clear, what do you say, winner of the debate.
Yeah.
I think they both didn't do the greatest job ever, obviously, but
Right. Okay, so now I have another question because this is one of the things that I don't know, wasn't sure how to react to it. Was
Right.
when Biden said that Antifa was not an organization, but was instead an ideology.
That is some left-wing bullshit. That's what it is.
Here we go. Okay, here we go. Right out of the gate. Tell us, Ernesto. Tell us.
I mean, you have people chanting Antifa, and they're destroying businesses. And the whole point of this is because of the BLM crap, right? That's going on.
But okay, but do you believe that Antifa okay, for example, I could go burn anything. I could go tear anything down and say, I'm doing it in the name of Antifa. I'm doing it in the name of whatever, without actually being affiliated with that organization. Do
Well, I
you
mean,
believe?
I guess it depends on the person, then, right? There are people that are saying, "Hey, I'm part of Antifa," and they're the ones that are causing all this destruction, which is pretty ironic because they're destroying Black-owned businesses. Looks like Black Lives Matter only matters when it's Black people shot and killed by police.
Ernesto, I love your freedom. I love that you're so free and so free to just go into it.
Absolutely. I'm highly against Antifa, and if you're a left-winger defending Antifa, you should be ashamed of yourself.
Okay, okay, but let me ask you a question. Do you believe that Antifa is a structured organization, meaning there is somebody controlling Antifa, there is an organization, or is it just an idea of anti-fascism and people run with it? What do you think about that? Okay, that kind of fell on the floor. Armando, any thoughts about Antifa?
I mean, obviously, I'm not for them. I'm definitely against them because I don't believe the way they carry out their message is like productive. But with regards to Antifa itself, I don't really even think there's so much. You see, the problem is they have no organization, they have no backing. It's not like they're backed by, I don't know, Soros or something like that, or the Koch brothers or whatever. I think Antifa is just honestly like obviously a bunch of extremists, extreme left-minded people who gather up, but they don't really have, it feels like, a mission. They don't really have any organization. They don't really have a vision. It's not a formal thing at all. It's a bunch of people that I think randomly like all get together and they really just decide to kind of sort of, I guess, cause trouble, but without any end game to the trouble that they're going to cause. Like, I don't see what their vision is or what their mission even really is, what expected outcome they have to, you know, behind all the destruction and all the rioting and instigating that they're doing. Because usually, like, when you have had organizations do what they want to do, they've had some sort of vision, right? They've had some sort of ideology behind what they're doing. Problem with Antifa is that they go out of their way to do these, like, obviously we know what they're out there doing, and yet we don't know what their end goal is.
Okay.
It's like they're causing trouble for the sake of causing trouble, and that makes people on the left look bad.
Exactly. Okay, so thank you.
So then you guys do agree with what Trump said, that Biden needs to
yeah, and Biden
I guess denounce Antifa.
Yeah, exactly.
When Trump talks,
Biden didn't condemn Antifa, and nobody talks about that. Not a single left-wing media network ever mentioned that Biden did not condemn Antifa. Oh, but there you go. Everyone talking about how the fact that Trump didn't condemn KKK and all the white supremacists, the Proud Boys, which are not even white supremacists, by the way. The Proud Boys are just right-wingers. That's all they are. They're not conservatives. I mean, I'm sorry, they are conservatives, but they're not white supremacists. They're not white supremacists. I'm sorry.
Okay.
The leader of the Proud Boys is actually an Afro-Cuban. Google it.
Mm-hmm. No. I have been told that he's also, I think he's like the leader of Latinos for Trump or something like that. But no, I mean, okay, so you agree that Biden should have denounced Antifa, but how do you feel about Trump saying stand by? What do you say? He said, stand by, stand down,
stand back and stand by.
Stand back and stand by. Thank you. So
he's condemned the KKK and the white supremacists before. I don't know why he has to do it again.
But don't you think it was? I mean, that was a slam dunk, Ernesto. I mean, all he had to do was just say, "Yes, I denounce him," and that was a slam dunk. And he just totally dropped it. Don't you think, or no? Come on. If we were dating, and I said to you, tell all your hoes, denounce them, and you said, all my hoes stand down, stand by or whatever. Do you think a girlfriend would take that as an answer? She would never. But okay, so we all kind of have our thoughts on Antifa. Lauren, you actually didn't say anything about Antifa, about your thoughts.
Well, and when he talked.
Okay, for Christmas, we're all buying Lauren internet service. So, like, proper internet service.
When he
Anywho,
talks about Antifa, he doesn't know what he's talking about anyways.
good point. Good point.
Can you hear me?
Valid point. Yes, girl, we got you. We got you.
No, I'm
Okay.
saying when he starts talking about all this different stuff, he doesn't know what he's talking about anyways. In his head, he thinks he knows what he's talking about. When it comes out, he has no idea what he's talking about.
Yeah, but then he uses that excuse. If we let him get off on that, that's the same excuse he uses as to why, I don't know who the Proud Boys are. I don't know who this is. I don't know who that is. Like, he's the president. We should assume that he knows these things, right? I mean, we agree on that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, wait. So now, the big thing at the end of it was Chris Wallace. Oh my God, you had all these reactions. You have one faction of people saying, oh my God, he's the worst moderator of all time. He should have done, in my personal opinion, what was he supposed to do?
Yeah,
right.
Anybody have any thoughts on that? Anybody want to pick up from there?
I don't know. I felt bad for him. That's all I could say. I felt like he was like a kindergarten teacher. I mean, he couldn't keep control of the debate.
Okay, but do you feel that was a shortcoming? Put it this way: do you feel that somebody else could have done it better?
There should have been more moderators. I think if there had been more moderators, they probably could have kept control of the debate.
I was thinking there should be, at least three, maybe three. Typically, three moderators I think would have been better to kind of like, I don't know, keep the organization of it, I guess.
Gotcha. Because everybody was losing their cool, even Chris Wallace. Everybody was losing their cool. Lauren, are you there? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, I was just going to say he looked like he was like debating between two kids, like trying to keep the peace between two kids, basically.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I felt.
That's basically what it looked like to me, like a referee.
Yeah.
Well,
So
do we blame? Because a lot of people blame him, and they're like, he's the worst. He's the worst ever. We all feel sorry for him. That's the consensus here on the burrito. We just feel bad for him.
Yeah.
well, but bad that he has to be contending with these two guys, with Biden and Trump. Like,
Okay.
the worst lineup of a debate ever.
So what are our thoughts for the upcoming debate with Harris and Pence? Are we going to watch it? Do we even care? What do we expect? What's our thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'll definitely give it a watch. I think people, even from a distance, will at least give it a watch.
What do you think will happen? You think it'll be good, bad? Who do you think's going to win?
Well, I'm going to go
It's
ahead.
hard. I mean, okay, I'll go ahead. No, I think, you know what? Obviously, it just depends on who you agree on with more, right? I mean, obviously the Democrats are going to make the case that this current administration has dropped the ball and has not, not just with COVID, but, with everything around. And obviously, Pence is going to try to make the case that, no, we are the ones who've done it right or whatever. I think, honestly, with this debate, I expect it to be a little more organized because Pence is not quite the character that Donald Trump is. And even if politically I disagree with Pence on his stances, I don't expect to see him try to make it like chaotic or nothing like that. I think, it'll be pretty straightforward with both making their cases. Kamala Harris is going to have to go on the attack, though, because obviously, they're the incumbent. So, if they're trying to convince, if there's any undecided voters out there, if there are, then she's got to make the case for her side. So she's got to go on the attack. She's got to be aggressive, and she's got to, basically use her, I guess, prosecutor background to, convince the voters that, you know, the case against them, that they're guilty of dropping the ball, of not, you know, being responsive enough, not just to the COVID, but all the other things that, you know, followed with it, you know, plus all the, you know, we see what's going on with, you know, all the Black Lives Matter, the Antifa, you know, all that other stuff, you know, like, it's, they have to make the case that this is Trump's America. You see, you want Trump's America, this is Trump's America. They have to make that case in order to effectively sway any would-be undecided voters, if there are out there, which I'm sure there's a few, you know what I mean? There's a few out there. Most people probably know who they're going to vote for by now, but there's always going to be a few undecided voters out there. So that's what a debate should be about, sway the undecided voters.
I agree. Those are all really good points, and it's so true. I mean, that's what she should be driving at. She should be driving at, we've already got that result. If this is what you want, we've got protests, we've got the failing of COVID, we've got all of these things. So, but I feel like Ernesto has something he wants to say.
No, not really. Actually, I don't know much about the Vice President Pence and Kamala Harris. All I know is that Biden chose Kamala Harris because of the current political climate. Had it not been for
we just gonna let that float up in the we're just gonna let that float up there, huh? No,
you don't think so?
No, I already know where you're going with it, but I'm just gonna go ahead and throw the meat on the table.
But you don't think so?
What you're saying is that you think that he chose Harris because, well, no, you don't think. You know he chose her because she's a Black woman, and you feel that is in a way, I guess, appeasing to.
She was doing terrible in the polls in the primaries. She had like 1%. Give me a break. This has everything to do with race. That's the reason why he selected Kamala Harris. I mean, why would the nominee for the Democratic Party choose someone at 1% in the polls during the primaries? Think about it.
I think, unfortunately, I mean, I will agree with you that I feel like he shouldn't have said it before he did it. That cheapened the whole experience. He should have just kept it in his pocket, chose a Black woman that he found was qualified, but the fact that he told everybody he was going to do it, well, that just gives the opening to say, well, he chose her because of this. But, I mean, okay, so yes, he did. Look,
at the end, wait, hold on. At the end of the day, like, I don't blame him. You're running for president to win, and you do whatever it takes to win, so.
Yeah.
But that's terrible, because that's implying, I mean, I get what you're saying. It's identity politics. People vote.
There you go.
Yeah, you know, that's where you're going with this, is identity politics.
There you go.
And that's huge, you know, that's a huge thing. But
I mean, was she even that good as a what was she, an attorney general of California, or?
Yeah, she was an attorney general. She was a cop.
Yeah.
She was a prosecutor.
She was a prosecutor.
Yeah. Terrible record too. I heard that she locked up Black people just for marijuana offenses, and now she's all, oh my God, I love Black people. Give me a fucking break. That is some left wing. No, I'm serious. She goes on the radio and she's like, oh, I love marijuana. When she, like, throughout her career, she was locking up Black people just for marijuana offenses, for petty marijuana offenses. So just, she comes off as very hypocritical. And yeah, just as for Mike Pence, I think he's a moron too. He's very anti-science, anti-vaccine, anti-evolution. So like I said, I have very mixed political views. So it's really hard for me to, like, you know, just take one side.
No, that is what I want. We're getting real on this podcast, Ernesto. Nobody is mad at you. I'm at plenty of conservative viewers. You are their fucking idol right now. You are their knights. Like.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, since I have mixed political views, I can't be liked by liberals and I can't be liked by conservatives. So I'm a moderate, I guess. I'm a centrist.
Wow, people are gonna love it. They're going to. Like, I'm excited. Lauren, okay, tell me your thoughts on Biden.
Biden or Pence and Kamala Harris?
I'm sorry, Pence and Harris. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say that Pence is gonna come off likable. He is more likable than Trump, that's for sure. But on the other hand, like Armando was saying, Kamala's gonna have to use her prosecution skills, right, to get after him and be and you know, debate him better.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
No, yeah,
Yeah.
yes. No, we hear you. We
But
definitely.
and then Ernesto is saying that Biden picked Kamala because she's black.
Yes.
Is that what he was saying?
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
not. No.
Are you serious?
Ernesto,
You really think that's not a factor?
what?
You didn't think that was a factor?
It could have been a little bit of a factor, but that's not 100% of the factor. Maybe because
Well, I'm
she's
not
smart.
saying no. Well, of course, I'm not saying that it's 100%. I'm saying it's the main factor. I mean, if it had not been for the George Floyd incident and everything that happened, right after that, the protests and stuff. I mean, it has to do with the current political climate. Like I said, she wasn't doing so well in the primaries. She was doing like below 1%. It doesn't make sense. That's just my opinion, of course.
I think what also it could be, Kamala is well loved by the establishment. Those people that are on the inside. Like she's within those ranks, within those, not so much I think to the voters maybe, but within those ranks, she's a star.
Mhm.
They definitely love her, and I do think that there is an attempt there to kind of groom her, for possibly, a future run at the presidency even. That's why I think also is a factor in him picking her. Her skin color, I do think has something to do with it. I think, we got to be fair. I don't think it's the whole reason, but I do think that's part of it. And I also think, again, because she is loved by the establishment, Democrats, that, yeah, like there's some serious backing there. Whereas I'm not convinced that was the case with Elizabeth Warren, maybe. I do think that, while maybe to the more, I guess, progressive wing of the party, she was more appealing. I do think that on the inside, she might not be as well liked as a Kamala Harris.
I can definitely agree. And the thing that I would like to add to that is I feel that Kamala Harris, what she does also is I feel like she attracts that law and order crowd that we kind of have lost a little bit on the left, because she was a cop and she was a prosecutor and she was an attorney general. And a lot of people, think that on the left we're just anti-police,
Yes. Oh, believe me. Yes, absolutely.
So, we've lost some people who feel like Ernesto, who feel like, if you're the left is not the side for police, but we have a policewoman running. Ernesto, she's a cop. She's a cop.
Really? I didn't know that. Excuse my ignorance. I didn't know that. That's good to know.
No, she's a cop. But so we've definitely gone into what we think is going to go on with the debates, and we are definitely going to recap all of that, and we will be here once a week, guys, so we will come into that. But now on to the current hot topic. Yes, y'all, they said the president got COVID. So yep, old Donnie. So apparently the story is that he actually caught it on Wednesday, the day before he went to debate with Joe Biden. And when he caught it is not known, but he was diagnosed on Wednesday and still went to the thing on Thursday and carried on. And so I guess first off, I just want to know, number one, do we think this is real or not real? Do we believe that the president really has COVID? I am going to go ahead and look like a jackass and say that I believe that Trump has COVID. I believe it. I believe he really does have COVID. Yeah. I'll let someone else go from there.
Why are you letting him go outside and do a whole parade outside just now? Did everyone see that?
No.
Yes.
They let him out of the hospital to go wave to his supporters.
He had right. They took him on a little roundabout. He was in one of the limos. And he was kind of sort of waving to supporters. They kind of drove him around a couple of times, and I think they took him back to the hospital.
Wow. Well, it does seem strange to me. What makes me think he has it is the way that he is trying so hard to make it seem like he is okay. Like, I'm okay. I'm putting videos on Twitter. I'm not going to die, all that. But if somebody else, Ernesto or Armando, did you guys have any thoughts?
I mean, it's like FDR. Oh, go ahead.
All right. I have mixed feelings. I'm gonna be honest. I really do. But the thing is, they're talking about letting him out tomorrow. That's actually what I've heard. That they're talking about
Yeah.
letting him out tomorrow. If he has it, in my opinion, because I mean, anybody who doesn't know, I do work in this field. I'm an RN, so I've dealt with a lot of these patients before, and I saw a lot of the treatments he's getting. And supposedly he was even given like they had to transfuse plasma into him. They've had to give him breathing treatments. They've had to give him steroids. They've had to give him antiviral type of medications. In my opinion, if he is getting all of that stuff and they're talking about letting him out tomorrow, I don't know. I think that's kind of, that's kind of, and if they do let him out tomorrow and he appears to be as fine as a daisy, I'm definitely gonna be suspicious of if he really had it or not. My honest thoughts. Because I've seen, patients, I've seen the side effects of a lot of those treatments and a lot of those medications. And I'll tell you that it's a process. Like, people don't just get their strength back at the snap of a finger. Like, that takes them a bit, and a lot of times the average stay of a lot of these people are 9-10 days or something like that, where they have COVID. Right. And we're talking about, people I've seen that are younger than him, probably healthier than him, in good shape. Like, I would know because I've worked with nurses that got infected and ended up getting hospitalized and everything like that. And, it's some pretty nasty stuff. Now, granted, I will, I have to add, there are people that don't have symptoms. Like, there's people who have it and apparently didn't realize they had it unless they got themselves tested.
Yeah.
They say that the older you are, obviously the more it affects you. And those who obviously have other stuff, like any kind of breathing problems, smoke cigarettes, asthma, whatever. I don't know what his history as far as that goes is. They say he doesn't smoke and doesn't drink, but he is a gentleman that is up there in age. And, not to shame anyone, but he is a little overweight. He's not, he's not an athletic looking kind of guy. You know what I mean? So, those types of people are the ones that it really affects the most. Those are the ones that even if they survive, they're the ones that it really takes a massive toll on. So when I hear all this stuff that they're talking about, yeah, we've given them all these treatments and we're going to let them out on Monday, which is tomorrow. I don't know. It makes you wonder. It does make you wonder.
Ernesto, did you have any thoughts?
I mean, yeah, I believe that he has COVID. I don't think he would lie about this. It's unfortunate. I mean, I don't care if you affiliate to the left or the right. I mean, he's a human being. He's a current sitting president. You should show some respect and, hope for a speedy recovery. Let's see what happens. I just feel like this is a good thing for conservatives, though, because now they realize that, damn, this shit's real. Like, masks work. Masks are important. I mean, I'm sure Armando can tell us, elaborate more on the importance of this since this is his field. Social distancing works. I know a lot of conservatives that, doubt all this stuff. And now, with the president sick, I know for sure they're 100% convinced now that this is the real thing. This is a virus that definitely can kill.
So you definitely think it's inspired awareness. It's definitely made it bold.
Because I know a lot of conservatives doubt it and stuff like that. Not all, but some.
So Ernesto, do you remember when we were talking off air and I was telling you that I was reading the news articles that were saying that Trump has gotten some special antibody cocktail and, the other people aren't getting it. And you were kind of explaining to me what that was all about and about his level of, is he getting a better level of care than the average COVID patient?
I don't think that was me.
Oh, shoot. Did I say Ernesto? I meant Armando. I'm sorry. I meant Armando.
No, I mean, I'll go ahead and say, right. So obviously there's a new treatment that's kind of experimental, you know what I mean? And that is that cocktail that they have been talking about. They're saying that he's getting it. It's supposed to be like a faster way of fighting the virus. But again, it's kind of one of those things, how like with COVID, there's been the talk of, the hydroxychloroquine. There's been talks about, like some of these drugs that treat malaria that were used experimentally, and there were mixed results. There was some people that kind of worked with, maybe there was some people that just worsened it. This is kind of one of those that is, even though it's new, it is believed to be something that is kind of backed by more, I guess, scientific studies or whatever. But
Mhm.
I read the rest of his treatment. He's been getting steroids. He transfusion of plasma, I read, and he's been getting antiviral type of medications, which based on, as long as I haven't taken care of a COVID patient in a couple of months now because I do have a new job. But prior to that, that's all I was doing. And those were the standard treatments for a patient who had COVID. And, of course, because it seems like it's one of those viruses that apparently everyone is still learning about, it's hard to say, what's definite. But I saw what he was getting, and that's pretty standard for what everyone else I've seen getting, stuff that I myself have given patients.
And so you were also and just one more COVID question you were talking about them letting him out early. That's obviously not standard practice for someone with COVID to, no matter what treatment they're getting, to be getting out that early.
Yeah, because a lot of these drugs that they give, anybody who they all have side effects. Number one, they have side effects. Obviously, and a guy of his age, he's what, 74. Somebody like that is going to obviously feel them maybe more so than any of us here. We would feel them anyway. But also, there's the typical protocol, at least from where I was working. You had to have two negative tests before they let you out, because there are times that somebody could have a negative test and then your next test could be positive. So that's another thing. That's another thing why they don't really know about this virus. And another thing is that, I know we've heard talks about the flu. Usually with the flu, you get it, you got that immunity, whatever, and then you're good for the rest of the season. There's been a lot of mixed talk that, if you get it, do you necessarily have that immunity? There's some studies that show you could get it again or something like that, especially if, you're let out early in this case. So, it's one thing, I think, if you're being let out early, but you're going to be at home resting. But if you're going to be let out early and yet you're still expected to perform the duties of a standing president, I think that, to me, obviously, I'm not there with him, but typically to me, that doesn't sound like it's something ideal.
That was super informative. And I don't know anything about COVID or the healthcare field or anything like that. I just wear a mask. That's what I'm supposed to do. And that's as far as my extent goes. But
it worked.
With that, does anybody have any other closing thoughts they'd like to add before we close out this episode?
Wait, you haven't asked Lauren what she thought about.
Lauren keeps shorting out. Lauren, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. Okay, Lauren Love, talk to us. This is your moment on the floor.
No, I just wanted to say that with the COVID, it could go either way with COVID, him having COVID. It could work against him or it could work, for him, like everybody was talking about. Does he have COVID? I think he has COVID, but why are they letting him out to go wave at his supporters? That was my number one question.
Wait, Lauren, but do you believe in masks?
What?
Do you believe in masks?
Yeah, masks work. He's gonna show the conservative people that the masks are working. But he's the one who was touting that he didn't need masks in the first place.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
In the beginning of the year, wasn't he the one who was saying, I don't need a mask? And then all of a sudden, magically, he's starting to wear masks?
Yeah. Actually,
right?
Thanks for bringing that up. I would say this. I think the administration response to this pandemic has been absolutely terrible.
Yeah.
They didn't care about it in the first place. All of this could have been prevented. But it is what it is.
I'm here for it. So basically, we all think he has COVID.
Yes.
think that how do we think this is going to help him politically? Is this going to, I mean, how is this going to go for him? Are people going to start having sympathy for him and saying, oh my God, he's a human just like the rest of us? Or are they going to say, fuck this guy, I hope he dies and we can piss on his grave? Where are people going with it?
I think both. From what I've seen.
Yeah, depends
From
who
what
you
I've
ask.
right. I think both, obviously to the people that, don't care much for him, they're going to say, how ironic that the person
Right.
who was downplaying this because he didn't want to create a panic, he wanted to play it down in public, but behind the scenes knew what it was about. How ironic those people are going to say that you have it now versus the ones who, maybe are more on his side. They're going to say, oh, wow, like he's the president, he's going through this, and yet he's still campaigning and trying to go through with this election. Yeah, it's one of those things that I guess that's my answer. Both. Depends
But I
who
feel
you
like
ask.
I kind of felt bad for him though, because
Mhm.
I mean, think about it. Like, yeah, he downplayed the virus and stuff like that, but at the same time, I mean, think about it. Like, if you're gonna shut down the country, not only do you have sick people and stuff like that, people that are dying, but the economy is gonna get destroyed. So how do you balance, these two
Yeah,
things without, without
it's rough
destroying
because
lives and without destroying the country?
it's
It's
the
tough. It's
economy,
tough.
and then also what a lot of people forget also is we have an eviction crisis too. A lot of people are like losing their homes, getting kicked out of their homes. We don't even know if they have health insurance. So it's a kind of one of those things that, like one thing affects the other. It's been like a literal chain reaction. Like
Yeah.
literally the whole world has stopped because of this.
It is. It really, I mean, and we're coming into the fall, so they say it's supposed to be bad. I don't know, mask up, sanitizer, but
I'm just waiting for that vaccine.
you'll take it when it comes. You'll take it.
Absolutely. What
What
do you guys
if,
feel about the
Really?
vaccine?
Armando, you work in the medical field. Can we trust the vaccine if it comes out? Should we take it? Should we not take
Of
it?
course. Absolutely. What kind of question is that?
I definitely would take it. That's me I would. I know there's gonna be a lot of people that are not gonna want to take it because I mean, look at how many people don't take the flu vaccine? You know what I mean? Like you see that there. A lot of people don't trust it. Me personally, when it's available, I don't know when it's gonna be available. Obviously, the sooner the better. And the next year, early next year, I think that would be great. I personally would take it. But I can't tell anybody else to take it because you already know
Yeah.
that's like a factor of a lot of other different things. People believe what they want to believe, and
Yeah. I'm definitely
exactly.
gonna take it.
I'm gonna take it for sure.
I'm gonna take it. How
The
about
vaccine,
you, Liz?
the vaccine is going to be, it has to be go through a lot of trials, right, Armando?
Yes, there's a process. Then there's stages of this before it actually gets approved by the I think the CDC or whatever. Like there's a series of trials and probably people
Exactly.
they experiment it on before they actually say, okay, give it the stamp. This is okay.
Yeah.
Exactly. I don't think you should just jump in line to go get a vaccine. I mean, vaccines are great, but
Oh
you're
wait,
just
that's
gonna-
right, Lauren. You're in the medical field too. You should know about this, right?
Sorry, y'all. Had to step away for a minute. Anyways, but yes, this has been such a good podcast, a good informative podcast. I like that everyone's felt comfortable to be themselves. I hope that you, the viewers, are enjoying this. We're going to be back every week, new topic, new discussion, and I'm Elizabeth. You all know me, and we've got Armando, Ernesto, Lauren, and Miss Sue over there in Peru. So, anybody got any closing thoughts?
No, but I like ceviche.
We all do. Anybody who's tried it does.
I like ceviche, jalea mixta,
Oof, yes.
lomo saltado. I love all that stuff. Okay.
Yes, good stuff. That's great.
I don't like cuy. I don't like cuy though.
No cuy.
Alrighty, guys, I'm gonna close it out. Thank you so much for being with us.
Take care.
Was a
Bye.
pleasure.
Take care.